Check. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to another episode of Midday with Rev Don. We are your guest hosts, Reverend Alyssa and Reverend Phoenix, and we're here to hold it down on Fridays as we do. So, what's up, folks?
How's everybody doing?
How has your week been, Lady Alyssa?
My week has been fast, actually. I feel like it went by really fast and busy.
Fast
But
and busy.
ending positively, I feel like we're making some resolutions on things I've been working on. So that's good.
Yeah. I also feel like the week has been pretty fast. Definitely a lot of stuff to follow up on. There's definitely some uh, endings to things. I won't call them all resolutions, but certain things are coming to an end at the moment. And I'm finding myself getting curious about the new trajectory
Hmm.
for sure, and ways to be like continually effective. Yeah.
I like that.
hmm That's on the docket. Have you had any highlights over the past week? Like anything like exceptionally decent for you?
Nothing in particular jumping out. How about you?
Um, Anything particularly good? My family, love my family, love being around them. It's pretty
That
dope.
sounds
Getting closer to lustration, and I'm enjoying the countdown.
good. Me too.
There are a bunch of new people who are coming who have not been to like lustration with me before, and I'm like looking forward to meeting them.
Wait, we're doing this show from there next week?
hmm
Mm.
hmm
We'll bring everybody the fun illustration fun.
It's crazy because we're gonna be there with Uncle, so there's like no real reason why he couldn't do his show, but like we gonna do it.
No, we're gonna do it. We're gonna hijack it again. Blessings. Hi Kai. Hi Ed.
All right, the chat. Let's see.
Yes, the chat exists.
Hey Kai, hey Ed, how y'all doing? Sending blessings back to both of y'all way. Yeah. Any lowlights from the previous week? Like anything happening? You're just like, wow, f
You
that
know,
totally.
disappointment. I feel like I had I've been working on an ongoing project, and I just feel very disappointed in the outside party I was working with, and that was kind of a letdown. Did not come through as I hoped it would, but I think it's going to come through for the best.
hmm Yeah, I had that same issue happen.
Yeah,
Right,
it was
like this started off so strong. I
so
don't know
strong.
where we went left, but now everything is totally left.
I have to approach it from a point of view that we don't have the far view, down here. We think that we see the best outcome and the best option, and we think that we know where we're going. But sometimes spirit has other plans, and those plans are usually ultimately for the best, even if it doesn't feel like it when it's happening.
hmm
So it's kind of what
And
I
that is
lean
something that
into
we
when I'm struggling.
heard. And the statement that you made is something that we both have experience with, like just getting to today.
Mhm.
It's a good reminder. There is a motive to the madness of spirit.
Absolutely.
I've also been paying pretty close attention to the social medias, and I've been pretty entertained by what I've been witnessing. That's the word that I would like to use. I would like
On,
to say
on a
entertained.
few different fronts. Yeah.
hmm So for those of y'all who are also social media personalities, and who make your way by engaging with other people, promoting other people, uplifting other people, putting a spotlight on other people. Keep up the great work. It's definitely entertaining me. If
Right.
that's your goal, great job. If it's not your goal to be entertaining, if it's your goal to be a little bit more effective, far reaching, healing, anything except like if you have anything attached to like your platform besides entertainment, maybe be a little bit more intentional about the way that you broadcast your perspectives. Be a little bit more intentional about the way that you produce your perspectives. Maybe be a little bit more intentional about the people that you draw into your cause. Maybe do these things with a vision beyond the current moment, because the stuff that I'm seeing is going to have consequences that go far beyond today, tomorrow, and next week. And for people who are initiates, clergy, magic users, I don't even care if you summon demons, but for those of us who do work in these paradigms, it is very, very easy for us to just check in with the higher powers and be like, is the behavior that I'm doing right now the one that I'm going to want to stand up for and say with my chest when it circles back around? That's what I have to say about what I am observing in social media. Whatever it is that you are doing, it's currently entertaining for me. And make sure whatever you do is something that you're going to want to be proud of when it comes back.
Mm-hmm. I think in social media in general, like social media platforms and stuff, it makes it so easy to interact that sometimes we forget to interact with purpose too, and a clear like end goal in mind. And I liked what you said about um, making sure that the people that we are drawing to your cause are the people that you want to draw to your cause, your platform. You know, who is your platform? Where's it coming from? Um, what are you doing with your platform? How are you using it?
Intentionality is absolutely the key. And the reason why I say that is because I will absolutely confess there have been times where I've said some very, very strong things and I've said them on purpose. So when they circled back, I'm like, yep, that's exactly how I said it. That's how I intended it. That's how I meant it.
Mhm.
There's no need to like have to eat crow if you don't need to. Unless you have a taste for that shit for dinner, then by all means.
I also think it's important to remember that while we might have good intentions, there's always going to be, especially on the internet, people whose intention is only to rattle us, to disrupt us, to uh, do anything in their power just to undermine, even if they don't know who we are. Um, and not take those things personally, and also not like rise to it, I guess, you know. Um, you know, people are going to say what they're going to say regardless.
Hmm. The
I
book
believe it's
had something phenomenal to say about like the opinions of everyone, but I can't remember
yeah.
what it said so thoroughly. But when you read it out loud, it was like one of those moments where I wanted to like make the book a muffin.
So Ed just reminded me, Sir Ed in the chat agreed with us, and something that I've heard him say, and you know, is well known, is that there's no such thing as bad publicity. So you be careful who you're giving your publicity to. Be careful who you're giving that publicity to, because you're calling out names left and right, and it just makes people more interested. You're doing them a favor sometimes.
Hmm.
Something to remember.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And that goes back to that idea of like intentionality. Um, if you are intentional about the people that you give your platform to, if you're intentional about the messages that you select, then you start to develop a type of brand. You start to get known for certain kinds of things. And if you are intentional, then the things that you start to get known for are the things that you wanted to be known for to begin with.
Hmm. Hmm.
I do also want to say that there's no real reason not to tell your story.
Hmm.
There's no real reason not to talk about what you've experienced and what you have gone through. Everybody got a mouth, just like everybody got an opinion and everybody got an asshole, ideally. So don't catch yourself not using yours for the benefit of others when using yours would benefit, heal, liberate you. Because that's the one
Hmm.
thing that I do see is a lot of people doing a lot of projecting. I see that happen, like a lot of projecting happening. I see a lot of false conclusions being drawn. I see a lot of trying to spin the narrative in some of the things that I'm seeing. And I'm just like, in reading just screenshots, in reading just proof, in reading the emails, in reading these kinds of things, I myself am not coming to the same conclusions that other people are coming to.
Yeah.
When you
So.
add the context that people want to add to their narrative, like once you like, oh, once I let you put the glasses on my face, now I see your perspective.
Hmm.
Like I see a bunch of that happening. But aside from those glasses, A squared and B squared is not leading to C squared in a lot of what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Um,
that makes me it makes it hard for me to jump onto any bandwagon.
yeah, it's true. It's true. Um, Ed Hubbard in the chat said, agreed, and said attention is the number one asset. So when you give attention, you're spending your assets. What is your return?
Boom.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
So some people watching us right now from various platforms, you giving us your attention, that's your asset. Do you know why you continue to watch us for even a single second more? Or do you know why you come back one Friday after the other? Or do you know why you show up every day? Like, are you getting what you came here for when we have these conversations? Hopefully the answer is yes, but hopefully you ask yourself that question when you give anyone your attention moving forward.
Hmm.
I was talking to a client earlier about the vetting process for letting people into your life, which is essentially the vetting process for how you dole out or dilly out or deal out your attention. And I discuss a three-tiered system: red light people, yellow light people, and green light people. Almost everybody is a red light person. They start out like that because they're strangers and like really you don't know what it is. So those are red light people and those are the farthest away from you.
Hmm.
Ideally, you understand what you want to see from people that would make them appear to be good candidates for yellow light people. These are people that you do talk to on purpose. These are people that you have public outings with. These are people that you do things in the community with. You might even be willing to give rides to this person when you're carpooling, right? These yellow light people have a closer degree of proximity to you than the general public. What do you want to see from these yellow light people that would make them become green light people, where they have more intimate access to you? Like, we want to know all these things when you are out engaging in your communities or in the world, and ideally with the platforms that you are subscribing to as well. Like, what is it that you are seeing in this place that makes you want to take in this information or give them proximity to you and your will?
I like that.
Word, 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 word. So if any of y'all like that vetting process, go ahead and start to organize the people and your platforms into red light, yellow light, green light people. Or if you want to do it financially, all the platforms that you are subscribing to, like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, all that, like organize those into red light, yellow light, green light platforms. Like, do they stand for what is important to you value wise? And if they don't, then they don't need your money. And if they do, then you can support them, wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely engage in some kind of vetting process when you are giving people your asset as an intention, or even money, or even proximity to your body or your family. It doesn't make you an awful person to have standards and not let anyone through the gate until they meet those standards.
Mm-hmm.
Hello,
Absolutely.
George R. Taylor Jr. Blessings to you as well. Hello,
Mm.
Kai in the chat. Sometimes they are trying to draw you into a fight. Not engaging doesn't mean they win. It just means you keep your priorities where they should be. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I agree with that meme that sometimes the biggest power move is not to engage.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Like, not even worth my time. What you have to say is not even worth my attention. It's not worth my asset. Not worth my time.
Word. We are at halfway through the program for today. So let's see about checking in with our sponsors. Um, I know one of them is Equinox, and the other one is Uncle's Metaphysical and Magical Auction. Let's go ahead and see.
Ready to unlock the secrets of the universe? Join me, Rev Don Lewis, for my metaphysical and magic auctions at Gaia Thrift at whatnot.com. Discover fascinating artifacts, mystical crystals, and rare and unusual books that could change your life. Don't miss this chance to bring a little magic into your world. Rev Don's Metaphysical and Magic Auctions, where the extraordinary can become yours.
All right, those were our sponsors. Again, thank you to our sponsors. Uh, Definitely love and appreciate the support. So if y'all have not been here for the past like 15, 20 minutes, it is your boy, Reverend Phoenix Coffin Williams, and the sister from a different Mister, Most Reverend Alyssa Maxon Kemp. And we holding it down for our uncle, Reverend Don, while he is awake for today. And we basically been talking about where you put your time, energy, and attention, and make sure that you are using your platform for what you want to be using it for, and just kind of a discussion about how drama has been very entertaining, but not necessarily helpful or meaningful at this point. So that's where we've been at. I don't know if we actually have to continue to beat that dead horse, but if you do have more that you want to say about that, I'm totally down to listen, sis. I cannot hear you.
Because I muted myself. No, I don't really have anything more to say particular, but um, you did trigger one last thought, which is that um, when you're engaging like that, also, you need to remember that you are not in a vacuum. So other people are seeing you, other people are clocking what you are doing. And if you might start to lose some of your following if they think that drama is all that you are.
Mhm. Mhm. So I'm looking forward to seeing if there will be more entertainment on the horizon, or if something else will be coming out of the hard work that is happening out here in these internet streets.
Mhm.
And then also, there is a huge part of me that really does believe more in don't talk about it, be about it. That would move beyond the entertainment kind of component and into the real world implications of finding out.
Mhm.
Because as far as I'm concerned, the drama is very little different than fucking around.
Yeah.
But
I
we'll let that be that.
I think people also sometimes forget that, you know, especially on social media, you're often talking to the people who already agree with you. You're not changing minds. You're not affecting change if you're just posting on social media.
hmm And that is what I call masturbatory. You're just jerking your own self off, preaching to the choir, so to speak.
Mhm.
hmm Are you near to the book at all?
Yes, I'm near to the book.
Go for it. I have a number.
All right.
Help us, book. 4.
Most religions do not make men better, only warier.
hmm You see why I like this book?
Yeah.
This came right out with it. Now, if we take that, because we talking spiritually right now, we are a part of a religion.
Yeah.
What is it about most religions that don't make us better, but more exhausted and hopeless? Weary.
Wary.
Wary?
Warier. Warier.
Yeah, so like you not
Like
having much hope, not having
suspicious.
much, huh?
Suspicious. That's how I read it. Makes people wary.
Is that different than being a weary traveler?
Yeah.
Those are two different words. The one that
Wary and weary. Yeah. I'm
okay,
sorry, I got that accent.
okay,
Um wary, Wary
okay,
is the word.
okay.
Yeah.
So suspicious. Okay,
Yeah. Religion does not make men better. It makes them warier.
okay, okay, okay. So then, what is it about religion that makes people less trusting?
The history of religion.
That's the shadow we inherit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That is the shadow that we and all of the other clergy that we exist alongside, we inherit that shadow for sure. Holy moly.
I think that's also the trap of clergy people or religious leaders who make it about themselves
hmm
and not about the people that they're serving and the
hmm
faith that they're serving, the gods that they're serving.
hmm 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 The thing I will say is just remember hubris. If you remember hubris at all time and you work hard to make sure that that MNFer don't show up, not because you're too good for it, but because you know you're not too good for it, you find yourself in a better position.
Mhm.
Um, study up on your virtues, and make sure that you are learning as best as you can how to walk the truth that you are professing.
Mm-hmm.
And remember also to know, to will, to dare, and to remain silent are 4 little skills that you can perfect independently or together at the same time. So that was the witch's pyramid. And I haven't seen or heard many folks talk about that as like a building block into power. But to know, to will, to dare, and to remain silent are very, very powerful attributes in manifesting and in making sure that your presentation is what you want it to be.
Absolutely.
Word,
Here
word.
for that.
Let's see.
That remain silent part is a key. It's the one that people forget. And that's not just like remain silent about your initiation. That's not just remain silent about your secrets. That's like people forget this all the time. You don't have to tell people. You don't have to tell people about everything that you do,
Mm-hmm.
everything that you accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
People will see it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see it.
So true. That is so true. That is so, so true. I wonder where the compulsion to tell or share or demonstrate comes from. Like, is it a type of like seeking validation? But why can't you just watch a miracle and let the miracle be between you and your higher self?
Mm-hmm.
And that right there, I think, is one of the things that annoyed many of my elders about the generation of people who like are okay with putting their altars and their spells and their rituals on the internet. They're like, you could just be quiet about that. But then meanwhile, but actually we're trying to demonstrate to a bunch of other people like that there's a whole lifestyle, and like we're not trying to necessarily teach you anything or profess anything about these spells or rituals. We are just trying to demonstrate that there's a whole group of people out there that do it on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the point of the demonstration.
Yeah. It's a whole group of crazy people who throw jars over train tracks in Target parking lots.
Yikes. I don't know anyone who's done that today, but
Yes, you do.
What? Okay. All right. You did that specifically today?
Yesterday.
All right. I'm over here shuffling these cards. See if we can get some
Listen,
insight.
that's that to dare part, right? You
Right.
you gotta be a witch in public too.
Absolutely. How long until that's on the neighborhood watch group came from the chat? Sup, Reverend Brian? Sup, fam? How you doing? How long until it's in it? There's probably already someone upset about it now in your neighborhood.
It's probably some. I was at the Target parking lot and I saw someone throw something on the tracks.
Someone's got a video.
Oh, can't wait.
All right, say when, Lady Alyssa.
No.
This is our card.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew that was gonna be the one.
Good for us. Good
Knew it.
for us. And it's a lot of responsibility and a lot of hard work maintaining such a paradise. So keep your wits about you as you move into and enjoy the win condition. All right, this is reunion with divinity for sure. We all together in this bad mama jamma. So let's make sure we remember that.
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, I do give my thanks to the ancestors, my guides, and my gods for all the work that they do to guide, protect, and aid me on each day. I do ask that global divinity, that higher power that sustains and creates and uplifts all, I call upon you to place your own blessing down upon us and upon our viewers and upon our traditions and families. May it be in the benefit of each of our higher selves that this blessing occurs. May we see and notice and desire a quality of acceptance and tolerance and peace among each and all of us, and that a spirit of reconciliation prevails where it is possible. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
All right, folks, we out of here for today. See y'all next week from Lustration.
From Lustration.
Deuces.
Blessings.